All right, happy Wednesday and welcome to BAM Speak Live. This is your girl, Dr. Pamela G, also known as the Unapologetic Diva. And of course, like every Wednesday, I get the pleasure of, interviewing and just having a chat with one of the authors that is on the BAM tour. Today, our author and screenwriter and just, oh, goodness gracious. I was reading your bio, was like all kind of stuff. I was like, okay, this is a long list. So we have here Miss Teresa B. Howell. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. So tell everybody that's watching a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am an educator in the daytime, and at night, I am a writer, screenplay, playwright, movies, YouTube series, everything.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you have all of these different things going on, and you've been featured in a ton of things from CEO Magazine and Huffington Post and the Herald Sun. I mean, just a whole accolade of different things. So kudos to you and congratulations to you on all of those things. So
Thank you.
what are some of the movies that you've made, or talk about your YouTube series, and then we'll get into your books. I'm kind of curious because you screenwrite.
So the YouTube series has just started in production. We'll be finished that probably the end of July. It's based upon my first book, That Church Life. It goes into the first part of the story. We'll have probably 3 or 4 seasons of it, and it'll just be little snippets of the book. It won't be like a long, drawn out movie. It's a way to give samples of what the book is about. And then, as far as the movie is concerned, my book, Delayed But Not Denied, that's being turned into a movie, and I'm going to LA in September to start that process.
Will you be a part of the September BAM, or will it be?
Yes.
Oh, so you're going to make a little bit
Yes.
of business and pleasure.
Yeah. So I'm going to be knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yes. So where are you based out of?
I live in Durham, North Carolina.
Okay, so you'll be flying from North Carolina to LA. Oh yeah,
Wow.
definitely kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
You can while you're on the other side, because I do the same thing. If I know I'm going somewhere, I'm like, okay, what can I do here, to maximize my time? And so I might have to, go a few days before, like I did for Atlanta. I went a few days before to take care of some stuff. Okay, so let's talk about your not one book, but your books. What was the first book you wrote?
The first book is That Church Life.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the very first book, and then it was turned into a trilogy by accident. I never meant to write more than 1 book, and I wasn't expecting to get the response that I got. So because it was selling like crazy, and I started doing appearances on Virginia Good Morning and places like that, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I need to write another book. So
it became a trilogy. What's the second one after that?
That Church Life 2.
Oh, so all of them are That Church Life, and it's That Church Life 3?
Yes.
Wow. So what's the story about then? If it phases from 1 to 3, is 3 the last one, or will there be a 4th?
There will be a 4th. It's in the process. There's a character named Olivia that everybody is crazy about. Okay. They want me to kill her off. I have not killed her off yet. She is very evil and manipulative in the book. Yeah, she's a mess. And so I'm going to write part 4 specifically about her.
So are you going to kill her off in part 4, or?
I can't kill her off. I just can't. She's not ready to die yet. That's what it is. She's not ready.
Gosh, I'm gonna have to definitely check out the whole trilogy then, and then which is a trilogy right now. But since you are already doing part 4, so will this also be is this the movie that you're making with all of these varying parts?
So I'm leaving That Church Life for Tyler Perry. I'm waiting for him to come along and get that one. So that's in reserve.
Okay.
But the one that's actually going to be a movie is called Delayed But Not Denied.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that the only one that you want to make into a movie out of the books that you've written so far?
I actually want to make all of them into a movie. That's my goal. I was told that I am a great storyteller, so I kind of write as if it's already in film.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of my goal, that everything I put my hands on, I want to turn it into a play, I want to turn it into a movie, I want to turn it into a YouTube series. So this might be my ongoing thing for a long time.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. I don't think I've wanted to do or I don't write for that. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, you know what, I'll put it out there. I can tell a great story, but not fiction. Not a fiction writer. I
Right.
recommend anyone who can write fiction because I love it because I can play it in my own mind the way I envision it and see it. So what is the
Hmm.
writing process for you like then? When you sit down and
Oh,
you're pouring things out, what is that like for you?
it's very crazy. I am I am what's considered a pantser. So I write at the seat of my pants. I don't have outlines. I don't know what my character would be like. I just have a premise and I just run with it.
Mhm.
That's kind of chaotic. That's how my brain works. So it may take a little longer than the average writer to write it. I find it to be a very spiritual journey because, like, I might have something in my mind and I might say I want it to be this way, but then I come back weeks later and it's like I'm typing and God says no, go this way. So
Mhm.
I just go wherever I'm led. Outlines are, it drives me crazy to try to outline. I try so hard, but it just doesn't work for me.
Okay. But you have so outlining means just like you list your chapters or you just write and then you chapter later?
I when I'm writing, I chapter, but I don't know what I'm going to write about, which is crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to write about. So if I'm starting chapter one and say my character's name is, let's just use Olivia for an example, I
Mhm.
might start off with, what's going on with Olivia right now, and then I might come back later and say, well, no, I might need to start with this. I might need to talk about her, her current boyfriend or something. I don't know. But my writing is crazy. And so and so it's one of those things because I'm a visual. I see everything I write like
Mhm.
to be perfect before I bring it up, before I send it to my editor. So it's a tedious process for
Okay.
me.
So what inspired you to write?
Actually, I was when about 19 years old, I was at a community college taking an English class, and I had a teacher that said that you should be writing, but I didn't listen to her. I thought I was going to be one of Janet Jackson's backup singers. So I kind of missed my calling at that time for writing, and Janet never called me. She never called me. But but it was one of those situations where I got up in age and then I had a tragedy, and the tragedy kind of sparked the writing because someone told me, hey, you should be writing. God told me to tell you to write, and that's how the process started.
Okay, wow. So it started at 19 and it's just been a journey, since. Well, how long ago has it been since you wrote that church life?
I wrote that church life well, I started in 2015 and I didn't finish until 2016.
Uh,
um yeah, so it took me about a year.
Oh, that's good though. That's really good. And then so when did part 2 come along?
Part two, I started writing maybe that summer, and I was finished by that November.
Oh, wow. So you had already had it just pouring out of you, by that point. Was it the same for book 3?
Book three was even shorter. Book three took me about maybe 2 months. So it was like once I got into the gist of it and the characters were like set or embedded in my head, it was like easy to continue. It's always harder when you start the process with new characters. That's what takes the longest. But most of my books will be like part twos or part threes. So once I get to part two, it's easy. It'll come to me. But it's the part one that just has me all over the place.
What inspires your characters? How do you drum them up in your mind, or is it just, oh, I think this person would be great here, or what's the motivation behind your character development?
Experiences. I've been in the church all my life. And so it was easy to write about the experiences and make them, some of them comical, make some of them very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And before I knew it, I was making page turners based upon the things that I had experienced as a child. Um, Everybody likes the feel of the church ladies. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and their gossiping and things like that. So those characters in that church life really gravitated towards the readers. But then I had some seriousness about, domestic violence and some other things that were happening with the characters.
And so Olivia is the main character, and you said, is she the one that's like kind of deceitful or and all of those things, or is she like not so she's a main character but not the main character?
Yeah, she's not the main character. She's just the character that everyone hates. She's the protagonist. Everybody hates her, but the main character, her name is Missy Jones.
Okay. And what made you bring about Missy Jones? That's such an interesting name.
I know, right? Especially for African American. I don't know where it came from, but I just, it was just one day I just said, oh, okay, she's going to be Missy. Yeah. So Missy, basically, she's a generational preacher.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad wants her to take over the reign of the church. It's her time, and he feels that she's, old enough to take on the torch.
Mm-hmm.
She's not ready, and she's trying to explain to him in a soft way that, hey, I'm not ready because I suffer from anxiety. This anxiety came from me fighting with my boyfriend, and my boyfriend is the church musician. So all
Oh,
these
wow.
kind of come out, yeah. And it becomes a wild goose chase with the characters.
Okay. And so in your bio, it also says that you're a singer.
Yes. So I told you I wanted to get with Janet,
I
but
know that, but just
she never called me. She never called. Janet, if you see this, I'm still available. But I started singing at a very young age. Had to be about maybe 6 or 7. I've been in church choirs ever since. I recorded with a church choir in my early 20s. So yeah, singing has been my life, but I just didn't make anything of it. And so now that I, have the means from doing books, now I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to sing a little bit. So I'll be having something come out soon with that as well.
okay. Wow. And so the screenplays that you have written already, are these based, is that just the one on the book, or there have been more? I know because you said you're starting a YouTube series, a YouTube series, and is that separate from your books, or is that in conjunction to be about your book?
Yeah, it's in conjunction. Yeah. So the screenplay that I have now that is for the YouTube series is That Church Life, and we call it That Church Life and Beyond.
Okay.
Because I'm going to add some more things to it to kind of shift it. Because we already have a play. So you have the books and then you have the play. And then when you come out with film, well, if you have that reader that has seen everything, they're kind of tired of the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So with the YouTube series, I'm going to switch it up a little bit and add some more to it.
So. Wow. And everybody can get all of this information off of your website, these wonderful things that you are doing?
Wherever books are sold. Yeah. Amazon, website, Barnes and Noble.
Are you in Barnes and Noble? The actual
I am.
Okay, great. All right. Okay. So when will your YouTube series launch?
Hopefully at the end of July. Since this is my first project, I have to learn about editing. I have to learn about music scores and things of that nature. So although taping may only take 2 days, the other logistics of it, I would like to learn and put towards the film.
Okay. Is that what you've been working on right now?
Yes.
And you're doing a book tour.
And I'm doing a book tour.
How are you finding the time?
I don't know. And I still work full time. I'm off on the summer because, like I said, I'm a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Due to COVID, we have been working from home. So that's even like better for my situation because now I can take a computer wherever I go and teach kids online and then write books. So
Yeah. Oh, that makes it easy. Plus, you don't have the commute. You don't have any of those things that you have to worry about. It's literally, okay, I'm stopping what I'm doing right now, and I can go right on to the next thing without having to make that big of a transition or adjustment.
exactly. So although COVID-19 is a bad thing, it was kind of a blessing for me because I'm getting more done.
Oh,
Um,
that's good. That's a good thing. I don't know. I have no idea why Nico is calling me, and he knows I have a 7 p.m. I'm calling him out right now that he was just trying to FaceTime me, and I'm like, does he not see the time?
Hey,
And
Nico.
I'm on his platform, right? Well, not, I'm on my platform, but I'm on Black Authors. Yeah, I'm calling him out. So I have to call Nico. I will call you back when I'm done. So with your teaching, what grade do you teach?
I teach high school, but yeah, that's the actually high school is kind of fun because with the kids having their own mind and they think they're grown, they try to challenge you and you be like, look, uh, sure. But I have taught K through 8 before,
Mhm.
and I'm at that stage of my life where the smaller ones are so affectionate and they always want to be huggy feely. I'm just not at that huggy feely stage of my life anymore. I'm
Mhm.
arguing with the older ones now.
Oh, oh my gosh. Oh gosh. What subject do you teach? Hopefully writing.
Yes, I'm an English teacher in special education.
I'm like, if she's not teaching writing, I don't know what. Then that really, you know what, that really has to be fun for your students. I mean, to have someone who is, not only an author, but a playwright and someone who is producing now, going to be producing things on YouTube. And, this generation loves YouTube and all of that. So that has to be something really great because you lend a hand, especially if you recognize that they should be writing. And so you can also pass along to say, you know what, you should actually be writing.
Yes, we've had those conversations, but this generation of children, I don't know. It's like pulling teeth. I'm like, can you at least write me a paragraph? Just a paragraph. So we have had the little, writing exercises that I try to get them to do little short stories, and they're just not interested in stuff like that. They're like, that's for you, Miss Howe. We're not doing that.
Do any of them take to the writing and find interest in what you're doing?
They find interest in reading. They like reading the books, but to actually write, mm-mm.
Oh, wow.
They asked me if I could just take a couple of classes where they could listen to the audio, and I'm like, no, I don't think my books might. No, it's just too much drama in my books for the beat. That we're not gonna make that a lesson. So
Are any of your books audio, and do you plan to move to that platform?
I do have that Church Life one, Bonnie Turpin, who is like the Beyonce of audio. She did my first one, and she did a very good job. I didn't move on to 2 and 3. I was supposed to do those with her as well, but COVID came and kind of messed everything up with that. So hopefully one day we can get back to that. And I do have a book called Positive Vibes Only that is also on audio, and that's like a 30-day affirmation book.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. I actually created an affirmation jar that I pull from daily just for I wake up in the morning. Sometimes it's a little bit later because I'm having coffee sitting in my desk, and I have it sitting on my desk, my work desk, which is where I'm at right now. But I see it, and I'm like, I didn't pull my affirmation of the day. And so, but if I'm already having like my mornings, some Mondays just I drag. That's my
Mhm.
to immediately change the way that I'm thinking.
Yeah, I thought it would be something, and to name it Positive Vibes Only, you already get the gist of what that's about.
Mhm.
Because you just some days you wake up and you're just not feeling it, and you need that affirmation to kind of get you going through the day. So I'm also writing a series with that. So the first one was just Positive Vibes Only, and it was just general. But the second part is Positive Vibes Only relationships. And
Oh,
so talking about the different things about dating and marriage, couples, the things that they kind of go through. And it's actually generated through some questions that I put on Facebook. So
okay.
I put like 30 questions out, and what do you think about this? And should a woman be doing this? Should a man be doing that? And they really get into it. So they don't realize that they're helping me write my book.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Material.
Before I let you go, I want to talk about your plays. Do you already have some that you have already done?
Yes, that church life has been done, performed 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had all sold out shows throughout this North Carolina. I did want to bring it to other states, but it's very, very, very expensive to get my set to other places. We tried to get some support for people to kind of help with that, but this is a day and age where grants and everything is kind of depleted. So we didn't get that opportunity. But I have a cast of 12, and then I have like maybe 7 or 8 people behind the scenes, including the music director. So it would be very costly to bring everybody to another state. So, but when I get to Tyler Perry, though, when I meet Tyler Perry, I got to put that out there.
Yeah, put that out in the world. Put that out in the atmosphere so that, you never know. You never know.
You never know. So if ever I get to that point where I can find somebody to really finance it, I would love to go with it because it is a very good play. And I'm not saying that just because it's mine, but it has drawn large crowds. So I would love to share it with the world.
It sounds very interesting. So that, the fact that it's on audiobooks. And so when I was in BAM Atlanta, I was saying that, I'm really busy. And so I don't get an opportunity to pick up a physical book as often. So I do like that I might have the physical book because I just like physical books, because I have a small book, little library in my upstairs guest room, but I still got the audiobook so that I can listen to it. So when I'm ready, I can always pick up where I left off if I have time to read. So I'm definitely going to be checking out this series to see about Miss Misty Jones and then this Olivia character.
Ooh, you better get ready. I had a friend the other night. She stayed up until about 2 a.m. because she was determined to get through the whole series. So she called me. She was like, I think I'm going to have to call in to work because I haven't got any sleep. I've been up reading these books. So it's very suspenseful, and it'll keep you going. You're going to want to kill off Olivia, too, once you read it.
Oh, wow. That's so intriguing. You all go check out her book. And where can everybody find you at?
They can reach me. All my social media handles are author Teresa B. And I have a website, teresabhowell.com.
That's on the scroll. That screen that if you're looking, it's scrolling on the screen below.
Yep. And if you want to help sponsor my plays, you can email me at info@teresabhowell.com.
All right. I think that would be great. I mean, maybe you should set up, maybe not necessarily a GoFundMe, but maybe some kind of support page that people can, donate and contribute money, because I would love to see this be able to go at least to test out to go to one other state, that will be, where, that may be a tri-city where you can get a lot more people to come out, for a production, or Tyler Perry. I will keep that out in existence for you. So thank you for coming and joining us or joining me, on behalf of BAM to BAM Speaks Live. And I wish you much success. I will see you, I'm sure, on the tour. And you all check out her book, go get it. It's on audiobook, so you really have no excuse because you can ride in a car and listen to that, or on a train. I'm not sure if anybody's still working from home, but if you're working from home, guess what? You can have that on in the background. Maybe you might get a little bit distracted. But I definitely want to thank you for coming out, and join us next Wednesday on BAM Speaks Live. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.